Hello, it's Ashley here from Paper&Twine. Welcome to my 5-card challenge video. I was nominated for this challenge by Andrea Turner. It's a challenge that's been going around for quite a while and lots of people have taken part. I think it's Dedees Crafts who has been responsible for hosting the challenge, starting it off, or this version of it off. So I'm fairly new to her. I shall leave a link to her channel down below. In fact, I will leave a link to her video about the rules. So one of the rules is that you have to make a card on camera, which I'm going to do at the end. You have to make 5 cards that are different, and you cannot use ink, you cannot use rubber stamps, you cannot use embossing folders. Yeah, I think those are the main rules. You can use dies or punches, a maximum of 3, and you can't mix and match them. You can use paint. You can use stickers, embellishments, 3D flowers, but check out her video for the full rules. So I found this very challenging because at heart I'm a stamper and I use ink. So yes, it was very, very challenging. So the first card I made is similar to one that I did recently on my channel where I was using extra wide washi tape. So this is a square card. It's a piece of washi tape with underneath the raised stag there is another stag, so I fussy cut the stag and laid it up on a little bit of cardboard packaging. Then I've got some Tim Holtz clippings, Appreciate Beauty. This had got a little bit of a smudge on from when I inked another sticker in the pack ages ago, but I haven't used it. I haven't used ink for this. So that's my first card. My second card, I've used one of my splodgy backgrounds using Brushos, a little Tim Holtz clipping again that says beautiful, and this is all Tim Holtz ephemera, mostly field snippets, and I've stuck that all the way down, and I've stuck that all the way down and that all the way down, but I've left that kind of peeking for a little bit of embellishment, or dimension rather, and stuck the middle of the butterfly down, leaving the wings free to flutter. And you know, I love my little splodges. So that's my second card. God, I can waffle, can't I? Third card, another piece of washi tape. The actual panel that is edged in black is ATC size, so it's 2.5 by 3.5, and this panel is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4, I think. Yes. And then I've used where has it gone? Hold on a minute. I had it a minute ago. Yes, I've used this, which was a recent purchase from Craft Stash. This Tim Holtz die. It cuts out in one piece all of these lovely wild flowers, and I've just used a portion of it, and again I've stuck about half of it down but left it flopping free. I really like that kind of effect, just to give a bit of dimension. So that's card number 3. Card number 4, it wouldn't be me if I didn't do some grouting, would it? So using all of my, well, not all, by no means all, using some of my scrap strips of paper. There's nothing stamped here. These are little bits of Brusho and Cosmic Shimmer splodgy backgrounds. A little bit of black card I find just helps break everything up, just makes everything pop, and gilding flakes. And then this is another little bit of background using I think it's called Colour Glow from 13 Arts. It's like a mica powder, and this is golden calcite, so that's a scrap of that I put a remnant rub on. It says Explore Life. So those are the 4 cards I've made so far, and I thought we would have a go at making a TP card. So I've gone ahead and done a little bit of prep, and we'll embellish it together and see what is what. You can make these any size, and essentially you need 3 squares, obviously the same size, for your basic structure. So mine are 2 3/4 inches, and then you are going to very carefully score them on the diagonal. Hold on, running out of room already. So I've found it very useful on my hoogie board, which I use to do a lot of scoring, to run a black Sharpie down one of the lines. And can you see how I'm using that to line up? So I've got the points of my square in that track, and I'm just going to gently score. Do that with all 3 squares on the diagonal. The more time and care you take over this little bit, the better your finished result will be. I've just had a little experiment to see how small I could make it. I think the standard size that people tend to make this is 4 inches square, but I thought we'd go diddy. So I'm just moving my scoreboard out of the way, and now you need to fold these in half on the diagonal, and if you line up your corners and then kind of flatten it a little bit, it will resist. This is quite thick card. And then score as best you can. You're going to get the best finish that you can. So again, just bringing these corners to meet. It's resisting a bit because it's really thick card, but I want to kind of tease my score line so that I get nice crisp corners. That's better on that one. And the third one, yes, I don't know what, I think the card I've been using recently has been 280 GSM, but this is an old, slightly different shade of black from what I've been using recently, and I didn't do that very well, so my TP card is not going to be brilliant. So what you want to do now is take one of the squares and lay it so that your score line is running vertically, and then take your side pieces and line up the top and the edge with the score line, but making sure that you don't cross that score line. And just so that you know where to put the glue, put a little pencil mark, and then this piece is going to run this way. Do the same again, lining it up, and a little pencil mark. And now you can see where you're going to glue. I would use glue rather than tape because it might get a lot of movement or use. So taking care, lining up the point and the score line with my pencil mark. Because I've used a wet glue, I've got a little bit of wiggle room, and just lining that up there. I'm going to burnish. Not quite true at the top there, but it will have to do. You will all be much better at this than I am. and repeating the process. Let's just see what this side looks like. That's a bit better. Burnish that down. And there we've got the basis of our TP card. Now what we want to do is add a magnet at this stage so that we can close the TP card. So I'm going to put a magnet here. I'm using, I think these are 5mm. They might be 6mm. No, they are, yes, they're 6mm and they're 0.5 millimeter thick. Obviously when you're working with magnets you need to make sure that if you've got pets or small children that you don't leave them lying around. They can be very dangerous. Okay, so I want my first magnet about there. The second magnet is and I'm just going to hold that move it actually because I'm a little bit would try that again. It is fiddly. I haven't quite perfected the art of sticking magnets down. I mean, we are going to cover this with paper. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that set. We'll just put that there so that we know we've got both magnets stuck on. Well, not stuck on yet, but you know what I mean. So what we can do now is start to decorate our front panel. So I've cut squares that are 1/4 inch smaller. So my base was 2 3/4. I've cut 3 squares that are 2.5 inches square, and I've used this paper from the Tim Holtz Backdrops Volume 2. And what you want to do is carefully cut it on the diagonal so that you get some triangular shapes. So I'm going to put that there like that. I'm just lining it so that I've got a narrow border all the way round. Whoops! And just trying to sort of contrast a bit. That's come from the same square, so I think I want this one. I find it helpful when I'm cutting squares on the diagonal. I've got a paper trimmer that's got a guide wire as the cutter, and it's easy to see your cutting line, whereas my big paper trimmer that I've got, even though I use it a lot, I haven't worked out where the cut edge is, if that makes sense. And hopefully that first magnet is glued on now, so we can glue our second one. I'm just going to hold it in place until the glue grabs, and then I can mat those portions that have got the magnet on. And we need to think about how we're going to decorate this. But I've recently made some big teepee cards for Christmas, 4 inches, which were great fun. Obviously I used rubber stamps and ink and what have you, but it got me thinking, how small could I go? And I've just had a go with a 2-inch square. Yes, it's a bit messy because this triangle here is really untidy. It didn't cut straight, but you can see we've got a magnet closure there, and I thought, how cute would it be to have a whole series of these lined up on your windowsill or mantelpiece in like size order as Christmas trees, like a little set of 3. So a 2 inch, a 2.5 inch, and a 3 inch perhaps. So I might have a go with that later on. Right, bear with. So I can see where my glue needs to go for this bit, so we'll just make sure I've got the right side. Yeah, so this side facing me is the side that I want to glue down. It is very complicated getting your right sides and your wrong sides. Okay, so now I'm going to mat the portions where my magnets are. I have to say, when I got into it, I really enjoyed this, and I loved rifling through my drawers of Tim Holtz Field Snippets ephemera that I hadn't used before today. You see, I'm a hoarder, and I didn't want to use them in case they get discontinued. Sad, isn't it? I think we'll go with this one actually, although it doesn't really matter. You need to be careful that your paper or card isn't too thick, because it will affect the effectiveness of the magnet. If you want to use a Velcro dot, you can, but I prefer using the magnets because they're hidden. So hopefully that should grab now. But it's springing apart. Why is it springing apart? Is it because I've got my magnets the wrong way round? See, it's grabbing, but it's coming apart. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, let's just finish decorating. What a disaster. I might just stick an extra magnet on and we'll see the magnet. Now we've got a couple of black triangles, and you can leave them like that if you want to. Right, let's just try another magnet. You can leave your triangles black, or you can cut some a smaller square to cover it and cut that on the diagonal. So that's okay. I'm just going to leave that like that, and I'll glue it down separately later on, but you get the idea how that works. They're great fun, these teepee cards. It's just a little bit different, and I'm making a right dog's dinner of it. So I've closed that, now I can't open it. Oh, that works actually. That's not stuck down, but yeah, okay, we'll just leave that like that. So what I want to do is measure this little area here and see how big that is. So it's actually 1 1/8 of an inch. So if I cut 7/8 of an inch square and cut that on the diagonal, that should fill those triangles. So just bear with me a minute while I do that. So there's my little 7/8 of an inch square, and I'm just going to eyeball, cutting it on the diagonal with these scissors, lining up as best I can. There we go. Might not be perfect, but nothing is. This is a handmade card. Now I've got to think, who am I going to nominate? I think a lot of people have already done this. I am rather late to the party. But see how that just finishes that off nicely. There we go. So we'll close it now. And this is going to be our front. A little top tip, when you are making one of these, particularly if you're going to stamp an image or something, use a little bit of washi tape to help you identify which is your front surface. Okay, so what I thought would be quite cool is if we had a paper doll. So I've got a little teeny tiny one. This one is about 2 inches. And I love my paper dolls, and again I'm hoarding them, but I think what we'll do, we might mount them on a little bit of card, but I think I want a little sentiment coming out the top here. So I'm going to look in my stickers and see if we can find a word that we like. What about charming? Because they look charming, don't they, those little... It's a pity they haven't got boys, because we could have had charming boys. But I quite like charming, so I want a little strip of black card. This is the same as the black card that I've used. And just gonna put that there like that, and trim it down. And I'm going to attempt to do a little fishtail banner bit. So I'm going to cut from the edge into the centre, and again from the edge into the centre. My cutting skills leave a lot to be desired. There, that's quite nice, isn't it? And if we have that like that, we'll just glue that with some of this acrylic, Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue. I do like it. It is my glue of choice for gluing small things. We'll have that sticking there like that. Then, yeah, we will make a little bit of packaging as a 3D dimensional thing. So I store my card in a plastic wallet. And I'm going to do probably 3 layers, I think, so that it stands proud. I'm sounding very brummy today. 1 more layer. Of course, I've cut this and I haven't checked whether it's too big or what have you for my little paper doll. I think it'll be all right. There we go. And just bringing this in this way and sticking them like that, and there is the front face of my 5th card, little teepee card. They are so cute, and as I say, I like that size actually. That was a 2 3/4 square, wasn't it? So yeah, I'm going to make some Christmas trees. Yeah. Oh, I'm excited. Now I need to nominate somebody. Who shall I nominate? I am going to nominate Kathy from Kathy's Favourite Things, and it's so hard. Artsy Grandma. She might have done it already, but yeah, Artsy Grandma and Kathy from Kathy's Favourite Things. I have nominated you. Take care, everybody. I'm sorry if you think it's been too long a video, but I've had fun. I'll be back soon. Bye now.